There it is. Oh, it's not in any of the, it's on the page. Remember when I went looking for chapter 1 in here and I couldn't find it? It's in that chapter. It's on the same page as the abilities. So it has AC 15. Hit points are equal to the defenders, steel defenders. Oh, this is fun. Okay, see if you can figure this out just from me saying it out loud. Hit points equal to the steel defender's constitution modifier plus your intelligence modifier plus 5 times your level in this class. So if you're level 5, it has 25 plus your int modifier plus its con modifier. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So these things have a default con mod of 2. So it'd be like 6, like 8 plus your level, basically. Times 5. Yeah. Okay, so it's immune to poison. It has immunity to being charmed and exhausted. It has 60-foot dark vision. It can't be surprised. The following numbers increase by 1 when your proficiency bonus increases by 1. The defender's skill and saving throw bonuses, the bonuses to hit and damage of its rend attack, and the number of hit points restored by its repair action. Right. Okay. So as your prof bonus goes up, its skill and saving throw bonuses, bonus to hit and damage, and number of hit points restored all go up as well. It has force empowered rend, which is an attack, plus 4 to hit, plus 5 or 5 reach, 1d8 plus 2 force damage. And then 3 times a day, it can repair itself or another construct within 5 feet for 2d8 plus 2 hit points. It doesn't look like it makes death saves. I think it just dies when it gets to 0. And then as a reaction, it can deflect attack. It imposes disadvantage on the attack roll of one creature it can see within 5 feet of it, provided the attack roll is against a creature other than the defender. I have to say, like, as a GM pet peeve, I don't like Sentinel. I don't like defend abilities like that. I don't like redirect abilities. I find them really frustrating because if you want to challenge a group of PCs and you have a PC who has AC 23 and they just get to take all the hits for everyone around them, it can be very difficult. And you end up just being like, I guess I'm just going to fireball everyone at once. Like it's one of those things that frustrates me as a GM because I don't think the tools that I have to counteract them are as good as the tools the players have to decide who gets attacked. Yeah. Right? There's not a lot of like forced movement. There's not a lot of like, I don't know. I don't like those abilities because I think you have to get extremely extra to counter them. And I don't want to have to be like, you're fighting 4 fighters and yep, it's another transmuter who's going to try to move you around the battlefield. So it's one of those things that's like, it's tough. Yeah. Right. You never attack the pet yourself. I think in when you have it in sparing, like it's used sparingly, it can be good, but I don't think I think GMs just don't have that many interesting options in terms of that stuff. I want more monster stat blocks that have abilities that let you counteract some of those kinds of things. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, it's a tricky thing, right? So that's Battlesmith. That's the Steel Defender. That's cool. Are there other subclasses besides the Artificer? I feel like there were a couple. I think there's like 2, but I can't remember what they are. We looked at Alchemist already. Yeah. So let's take a look at. Let's see if we can see the infusions. Yeah, let's see if they're in here. It looks like most of the character stuff might not be available in the version of Eberron that I have right now. Like I don't I don't know. I guess like I'm wondering why chapter 1 isn't presented in the same way that the other chapters are. Like I think we have to like level the character. Let's finish the character and see if we can get at it that way. Okay. So we'll go choose our ability score. It's fine. Whatever. We'll just make this character. I super don't care. Give 8 strength. There we go. Can we review patrons that way? Yes. Yeah, I think we can look at the patrons. They should be in there, but maybe not. We're gonna just take a look here. So for backgrounds, what was the one called? House Agent? Yeah, you have 1 dexterity. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Let's see. House Agent. There we go. Okay. So House Agent is you choose 2 proficiencies from the house tool proficiency table. So this is how you pick the house, right? So I'm an agent of House Fjarlin. So I get a disguise kit and a musical instrument. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's just depending on the house, it's a tool proficiency. And then house agents get investigation and persuasion. And then you get your house connections. You can always get food and lodging for you and your friends at a house enclave. When the house gives you a mission, it'll provide you the necessaries that you need to do it. Okay. All right. So that's fine. I don't need to worry about any of this crap. I get a signet ring, identification papers, and a purse. Skilled artisan with a twist. Yeah. All right. Let's just take my class equipment. I don't care. Artificer cantrips. Eventually, I assume I'll be able to pick these from my spell list. Okay, that's all right. Choose a feat. So here's that aberrant dragon mark that people were asking about. I think that's the only new feat on the list. Oh no, Revenant Blade. Okay, so there's that too. Let's look at those. So Revenant Blade, you are a master of the double-bladed scimitar. Ooh, fancy. Increase your dexterity or strength by 1. While you're holding a double-bladed scimitar, you get a +1 bonus to armor class. The double-bladed scimitar has finesse when you use it. Okay. Good. Elf sword. Cool elf sword. What else we got? Let's go from the top. Aberrant dragon mark. You manifested an aberrant dragon mark. Ooh, look at that guy. Determine its appearance and the flaw associated with it. You learn a cantrip of your choice from the sorcerer list. When you cast the first level spell, you learn the spell and cast it through your mark. When you cast it, you can expend temporary hit dice. If you roll an even number, you gain a number of temporary hit dice equal to the number rolled. If you roll an odd number, 1 random creature within 30 feet of you takes force damage equal to the number rolled. If there are no creatures in range, you take the damage. Interesting. So it's like you have a dragon mark that doesn't really work properly. You get a aberrant dragon mark flaw from the flaws table, which I don't know. We can look at that. Here we go. Aberrant dragon mark flaws. Good. Let me see. Is there a... What do we get? Animals are uneasy around you. Good. Great. Cool. So that's fun. And then when you do cast the spell, expend 1 of your temporary hit dice and roll it. So like, I got a 4. So if it's even, I get 4 hit points. If it were 5, 1 random creature within 30 feet of me would take 5 force damage. Or me if there's no one around me. Okay. All right. Probably it just dealt damage to you. It seems like it's not worth spending a hit die for. Yeah. Huh. I mean, maybe conditionally, some freedom, right? Okay, so that's Aberrant Dragon Mark. What else we got? Did I miss any? A lot of feats. Revenant Blade. I'm looking for the code, right? ERLW. I think those 2 are it. Okay. All right. So those are the 2 feats. I mean, fuck it, we'll take an Aberrant Dragon Mark. Sure. What am I? Did I miss something? I want to just apply. Anyway, let's go. Can I just go back and level up? Why can't I finish my character? What did I do? Back to top. It seems like I just didn't save any of my stuff. Yeah, I think I broke my character at some point. Anyway, cool. Okay, so I wonder then if there's somewhere I can look at the infusions. Yeah, my stats reset, everything busted. You're fired, busted character. Let's try one more. So let's go Re2 Photork. Let's see if we can make an artificer and if it'll run me all the way through. It's probably that 1 dexterity. I mean, you can have 1 dexterity. All right. So we're gonna make a halfling. Let's actually make some choices this time. Let's make a halfling character. Okay, halfling. There we go. And then we're gonna make them lawful good because we can. Let's do mark of that broken one, mark of healing. Okay, cool. We're gonna be an artificer. I don't know, because we can. With Arcana and Investigation. Alchemist supplies. Sure. Seems fine. Roll for stats. There we go. We got an 8, an 11, a 14, an 8, 11, and a 10. Cool. You're so average. All right. 14, 11, 8. This is terrible stats. 10, 10, 10, 8. I got 2 8s and 2 11s. Great. This character sucks, which is fine because I'm not actually playing them. Background, we're going to go with House Operative, right? Because we can. House Agent. We're going to go with House. It's a good healing house. Cannith gives me Alchemist Supplies and Tinker's Tools. Deneth gives me... Well, I guess if I'm marked, if I'm the mark of healing, what house is that? Who's the healing mark? Is it Jorasco? Jorasco. Okay. Mark of healing. I mean, you could be a mark of healing who like run away and works for another house, but or like a secret spy. But yeah, we'll go with House Jorasco. Let's roll randomly for all of our bonds and flaws. There we go. Okay. And then my starting equipment, I'm going to go with starting gold because I can. And then my artificer cantrips, I don't think they've been populated yet, which hopefully won't break things. I get no feat. My character's name is Riku Photork. Ah, there we go. Apply changes. Congratulations, Riku Photork. You're a character now. Let's level you up. So, launch level plus charactermancer. All right. So we're gonna roll our hit points. We got 8 hit points. I get infuse item. Oh, I see. This is where we could multi-class. I'm not gonna multi-class. Ah, here we go. So I'm gonna just pick all of these and we'll look through all of them one at a time. There we go. These are our infusions. They seem to be okay. So let's see. Infuse item. I can infuse +1 bonus to spell attack rolls for a rod, staff, or wand, right? Enhanced arcane focus. All right. Enhanced defense, +1 armor class while wearing it. Yeah, these are all the level 2 infusions. Yep. Yeah. That's why I'm looking at it at level 2. Enhanced weapon, right? +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls. Repeating shot, a simple or martial weapon with the ammunition property, +1 attack and damage made with it and ignores the loading property if it has it. If you load no ammunition, it produces its own automatically, creating 1 piece of magic ammunition. That's cool though. The loading, getting rid of the loading quality, like firing a heavy crossbow. Yeah. Or a gun. Tell Sathra. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then we get replicate magic item and returning weapon. Okay, so replicate magic item. You replicate a particular magic item. You can learn it each time you do. Choose a pick a different item. Alchemy jug, arm blade, bag of holding, cap of water breathing, goggles of night, prosthetic limb, rope of climbing, sending stone, wand of magic detection, and wand of secrets. That's pretty cool. I don't know what an arm blade is. I think it's probably a magic item from this book. Okay. And then returning weapon. When you throw a weapon, +1 bonus to attack and damage, it returns to you after you throw it. Okay. Yeah, it's a Warforged magic item. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's those level 2s. We'll level up. Apply changes. Let's level up a couple more times. So level 3. I'm gonna roll like an idiot. And I will choose Battlesmith. So I get all this crap. Battle ready, steel defender. And then level up. I wonder if can I just level? Yeah, let's just level a bunch of times. Let's go up to level 20. There we go. All right, next. All of the bullshit that I get through all these levels. Here we go. Replicate magic item. Yeah, here we go. So this is the level 14 version of replicate magic item. So it's amulet of health, arcane propulsion arm, belt of giant strength, dimensional shackles. Yeah, so you get to replicate bigger and better items as you go. That's cool. Arcane propulsion arm. Attach it to your arm at the wrist, elbow, or shoulder, at which point it prosthetically copies the form of the appendage it's replacing. While attached, it provides these benefits. Take an action to remove it. It's a magic melee weapon that deals 1d8 force damage and has the thrown property. When thrown, it detaches and flies to the target of the attack and then comes back. You're Mega Man. I guess you're Hard Man. Fire off your fist and it flies out and punches people and comes back. Rocket arm. All right. And then 2 more high-level infusions, radiant weapon, repulsor shield. Yeah, okay. Neat. Now I got to pick some feats and like a shit ton of stats, but let's look at my feat options. Wait, why can't I switch to do these as I don't want stats, I want feats. That's right, show feat. But I can't. So I might not be able to list that. Let me see. Look in this copy and see. It knows you need stats. Yeah, right. Let's go and I'll take a look in the work version. Let's see here. Dragon marks and backgrounds. What was it called? Aberrant dragon mark? Oh, the feats aren't all listed together. Okay, good. So, optionally, a character with the Aberrant Dragon Mark feat has a chance of manifesting greater power at 10th level. You have a 10% chance of gaining an epic boon. I don't think Greater Dragon Mark is a thing. Let me look. Yeah. With an Aberrant Dragon Mark. So what it is upon reaching 10th level, you have a 10% chance of gaining an epic boon from Chapter 7 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. If you fail to gain a boon, you have a 10% chance the next time you gain a level. If you gain the boon, the DM chooses it or determines it randomly. The character also permanently loses a hit die, and their hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to a roll of that die plus their con mod. This reduction cannot be reversed by any means. Okay, and then greater, I'll check to see if Greater Dragon Mark is in the thing, but I don't think it is. No, the words Greater Dragon Mark do not appear in this book. Yeah, they're not a thing in this version. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not sure why I can't choose feats, but that's fine. Yeah, Okay, cool. So the character answer obviously is being updated still to include all of this stuff. Interesting. Okay. Maybe it's called something different. It isn't. I looked up the word feat and I couldn't find anything. And epic boons are just from the Dungeon Master's Guide. They're not in this. They're not in Eberron. You can just, they're all in the DMG. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And they're in supplemental. Yeah, supplemental marks down here. Supplemental material. Boop. Epic boons. So these are all the things you can get. You could get one of these in exchange for some hit points, right? So boon of combat prowess. Whenever if you miss with a melee attack, you can choose to hit again. You do that once per short rest. Misty Step, once per short rest. You know, it's a long list, but these are all in the Dungeon Master's Guide. This isn't new stuff. You get the boon of high magic and not. I mean, the GM chooses or you roll, so I think it's reasonable to, pick based on what the character is doing, what the mark means. Like you could use it as I would choose it based on the narration, right? The stuff in the game that's going on. Yeah, exactly. Okay, get out of here, Riku Fork Torque. You're toast. So that I think is all the new character stuff, right? Shifters, Kalashtar, Orcs, Artificer, those three things. Let's look at patrons. Let's see if we can find patrons in here. Yeah, and we can look at spells and like all of that stuff. But yeah, group patrons, I think maybe doesn't. There we go. Patrons, but it's all handouts. Let's see. It's a dragon mark. Look at that cool hippie shit. Tie-dye dragon marks. Yeah, patrons also not in the setting part. Okay, well, let's look up patron. Is this going to be in the compendium or am I going to go to my reference doc again? Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, my suggestion to the folks who are executing this in, and I don't know whether it's like not finished or executing this in Roll20. Yeah, I think we just make sure the chapter is in this list. Like I want the whole book available to me, like here, like the book, if it's split between the compendium and here, I won't know where to go looking for it because the search tool won't always pull it up. So let's see how patron works. So patron, group, patrons. Okay. So when creating characters for an Eberron campaign, consider creating a patron. Patrons are organizations like the Adventurers Guild, a dragon marked house, a head of state, a military force. Each one gives you contacts and other like connections, basically. So there are information about the general type of patron, including allies, organizations, headquarters, allies, and enemies. Suggestions for various roles that characters in the party might take on. Possibilities regarding the patron's background. Benefits the group gets from the patrons. And a list of potential contacts. So it's like you would choose it at the campaign level, you know? So you choose it at the campaign level when you're building your idea for your game, where you're like, we're a bunch of adventurers who work for House Cannith, or we are a bunch of secret agents that work for Prince Orgrev of New Sire, right? Like you would choose that at the beginning of your campaign and put it together. And then I guess later, if you get a different patron, you could shift it. And then mechanically, there is really nothing. Like there's some tables to roll on for the GM. There are contacts you can roll to see who you might encounter if you are dealing with your guild, but there's no mechanics for it. You don't track like, it's not like Blades where the game cares about tracking that stuff. And it doesn't look like, I guess you could use Renown to track that from the Dungeon Master's Guide, right? So the benefits of the group's patron depend on the kind of patron you have. And so each one will give you benefits, but they're not, it's just ephemera. It's types of missions, kinds of things your characters can learn, it's a group background. Yeah, no character level mechanisms and no mechanical stuff in the game itself. Yeah, I would find a way to use Renown with this as a way to show XP tracks individual character growth. Renown tracks how much your actions resonate with your own house or group, and then also with enemy groups. Again, stealing from Blades, right? Like Sharn, the City of Towers, is a great Blades setting. And I think that taking things from D&D and applying them to Eberron, or from Blades and putting them in D&D and Eberron, would definitely help. It would definitely increase what you can do. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff in this book that, like, on first glance, I don't really care about. Like, the art's cool, but chapter 2 and chapter 3 are they're all lore and flavor, right? And a lot of this stuff, unfortunately, is already available through, like, there's Eberron wikis and stuff available online, right? Like, this is why a pure setting book doesn't really work very well, especially if it's a remake of an existing setting that has its own D&D book already. So, like, I don't know. I could dig through probably page by page and compare and contrast what is different and what we've learned. Because I guarantee we've learned some stuff about Eberron that has never appeared in a book before, right? There's probably a bunch of new lore, stuff that moves the setting forward. But I'm trying to envision this as a D&D fan who's never seen or care about Eberron. What would they notice when they dig through this for the first time? And so far, the stuff I'm interested in, there is some good stuff there, but, like, are there rules for, let's dig around for some interesting stuff. Let's see if we can find any new mechanics, because I want to look for things like, for example, build your own train. How do trains work, right? What's that about? Show me the new mechanical stuff. So let's see what we can find. I'm going to skip this adventure because I'm not really interested in it. This appears probably to be all, like, lore stuff, right? Again, like, lots, I'm sure, of random tables, which is great. The macros in this could be very useful, right? Crime, patrons, adventurers. Like, if you work for an adventurers guild, what do they need you to do today? Let's find out. An investigation involving... An assignment involves finding something or solving a mystery. Okay, well, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more detail there, but okay. Let's try again. You got anything more specific for me? The job is linked to the concerns of immortals. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's pretty broad. I'd like a more, again, going back to, like, our look at Ultraviolet Grasslands, or our look at like anytime we've ever played Blades in the Dark, they're very generic prompts. But I think that what I prefer would be like an investigation table. And here are people you work for, things you're investigating, and a twist, right? So you roll 3 times on, and this is the guild table, right? Guild investigations, right? And so we have A, B, C, D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then, I don't know, X, Y, Z, Q. And so when you roll, what you're actually getting is, all right, the Adventurers Guild needs you to investigate House Cannith, looking for financial records, and you're not the only ones working the job, right? Like that's what random tables should do. This kind of random table is like the adventure is an investigation. Like, come up with your own, I guess. Which is fine. It's an okay starting point, but I want more depth. I want, like, because with that, you could do an Eberron one shot from nothing, right? Like, that table is dozens of adventures ready to go, right? But this table gives me nothing. This table gives me one cell. It gives me what table to roll on, right? So let's look at inquisitive agency. Let's see if we can find what that. I mean, again, it probably won't be in here, but it says see another table. I think that's just another kind of patron. Immortal being. Let me look. It is. It's another kind of patron. So it might run you across like that. So you could go look at it and see, like, I work for the Adventurers Guild, and now my enemy might be an immortal being or an ally or something, but linked to the concerns of immortals is very, very, very broad, which is good, but it's a start, right? It's not quite enough, in my opinion. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling about that. More tables are good, more macros are good, more tools to build adventures are good, but it seems to me that patrons are just who's your daddy and what does he do? It's not a faction system. It's why are you together and maybe what you could be doing. Yeah, which is, again, fine, but it's more of it's a lot like what's in Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. It's the start, but it doesn't look like it mechanically connects to anything else in the game. Which, you know, that's fine. I would use it as is, but I would build on it for sure. Like so here's the thing. Let me give you some context. And I think I'm likely to do a planning stream for this sometime in the next week. But the idea here is that I'm going to be using this book and we're going to run a 3-part, 9.5 hour-ish, whatever, 9-hour episode miniseries of Eberron in the same slot that we're doing Jace in. So there is an actual play, like, game that's going to be attached to this. I'm not just reading this for kicks. Me and Katie, TK, Masood, and William are doing a mini series for the next 3 weeks, starting next Wednesday, set in Eberron. And my prep is going to be create that adventure and build characters for it. And part of that will be picking a patron for them, and I will use these tables. So if you're looking for a more hands-on, like, how would I use this stream? I'll be doing one of those probably this weekend. Maybe Tuesday morning before the game. Tuesday might be my time to do it. Anyway, keep an eye out for that. That'll be happening. But this is the place we're starting from, right? Cool. Okay. So there's that, right? Those are patrons for folks who are interested in that. They have random tables and they give you that stuff. Sharn appears to be all like settings and tables and stuff. New treasure. So that's cool. Let's take a look at these because this is actually some stuff I'm interested in. Yes. Look at these dragon shards. Hell yeah. That's cool. What do they do? Oh, you turn them into lightsabers. I see. Eberron dragon shards are rosy crystals. When casting a spell, you can use Eberron dragon shard dust in place of any spell component that has a cost. The dust market value is the same. Oh, it's disenchantment. It's, what is it? When you break up a magic item in WoW, the powder you get. Yeah. So Eberron dragon shards residuum. Yeah, pixie dust. So it's like arcane dust from breaking stuff down. Yeah, you can use those. Okay. Kyber dragon shards. Finding elemental magic and necromantic. So they're magic items for like crafting and stuff, I guess. And then Symbiotic, same thing. Okay, so they're kind of magic items, but not really. Okay, what else we got? Eldritch machines. Right, big scale magic items. That's cool. Creation Forge, Dimension Seal. Yeah, isn't Eberron like cut off from the other planes? Yeah. As a whole, the dimensional seals keep the Delcur bound in Kybar and prevent Zoriat from becoming coterminous from Eberron. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Aberrant resonators. Oh, right. Anybody that dies comes back as a zombie within 2 miles of a resonator. Interesting. Okay, cool. So these are sort of MacGuffin-y, like less less character stuff. So far, Rising from the Last War looks like Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron version 2 with lots more supplemental material around setting, lots of setting material, and then some adjustments to the mechanics of Wayfinder's Guide. I'm not totally sure. I wouldn't suggest owning both. I think at this point, and I kind of wonder about that because from a business perspective, does it supersede Wayfinder's Guide? And in which case, that feels like kind of a weird move because Wayfinder's Guide was a Dungeon Master's Guild book, which means now, oh, that's strange. Did they make a bigger, better version of a fan supplement? And then licensing is so complicated and yeah, that's very weird because it's who owns what and what the deal was when it. Yeah, that's really strange. Wizards of the Coast owns the Eberron IP. Sure, which means they can make a book like this. The Wayfinder's Guide is an unofficial book that Keith and company was allowed to make. And then Eberron Rising from the Last War is an official Wizards of the Coast upgrade to Wayfinder's Guide. I'm not really sure. The licensing or whatever, but it just seems weird the Wayfinder's Guide was a playtest for this that people bought, and now they'll be buying this one. It's not a fan supplement, but it sort of is in the sense that yeah, weird. You can just buy the parts of Rising from the Last War that aren't in WGTE. Can you? That's confusing. Yeah, it's a weird product. It's a very strange product. They both are as a result. Okay, well, let's keep looking because I don't have Wayfinder's Guide. I guess the other thing from a Roll20 perspective, Wayfinder's Guide is, I think, not in the marketplace, right? So if you're buying your stuff in in Roll20, you may not necessarily have Wayfinder's Guide, and then the Roll20 marketplace version will bring over all that stuff. Huh. Yeah, so that's an interesting thing because it's licensed adjacent to it rather than having them both licensed for Roll20. Haha, business. Okay. So, let's see. We got everyday magic items. This builds off of Xanathar's, right? With your little cantrippy type magic items. And then we have some other individual magic items such as living armor formed from black chitin, which veins pulse and red sinews glisten. Gross. Wearing this armor gives you a +1 bonus to armor class and resistance to necrotic, poison, and psychic, but you cannot remove the armor while you're attuned to it. If you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, your attunement ends, the armor falls off. This armor requires fresh blood be fed to it. Immediately after you finish a long rest, you must feed half your remaining hit dice to the armor or take 1 level of exhaustion. Hell yeah. That's rad. That's going straight into Court of Swords for sure. Yeah, cool. Okay, what else we got? And then it's different versions. So plate living armor. +1 bonus. Okay, so it's just plate armor, but this is the type of armor that it is. That's cool. Yeah, neat. Okay, I like living armor. That seems fun. Prosthetic limb, some magic limb. If you have multiple prosthetic limbs, count as a single magic item in regards to attunement. That's fine. Yep. Living gloves. Living gloves. Symbiotic gloves made of chitin and sinew, pulse with a life all their own. When attuned to them, you gain one of the following proficiencies. Right, they're your magic thief gloves or your magic guitar playing gloves given to you by the devil. Yeah, cool. Orb of shielding. Whenever you take damage of the type associated with it, reduce the damage by 1d4. Okay. So that's cool. So you're like carrying around in your pocket a piece of Mabaran obsidian, and it can reduce your necrotic damage by 1d4 as a reaction. I feel like using your reaction to reduce damage by 1d4 is pretty poor use of your reaction, but it is a common item, right? So. Scribe's pen. It scribes for you. Shift weave. Oh, it's 5 different outfits in one article of clothing. Pretty cool. Speaking stones, we've seen these before. Magic cell phones. A spell shard. Reading the text or scribing new text on blank. Oh, it's a magic spell book. Or just a magic book in general. Yeah, crystal spell book. Yeah, that's cool. Ventilating lungs. Metallic nodules created in response to the poisonous gases used in the battlefield of the last war, which was right, World War I, like fantasy WW1. When you attune to these lungs, they replace the lungs in your chest, which disappear. Outside an anti-magic field, they allow you to breathe normally in any environment. You have advantage on saves versus, oh, this is just the ring, but it's your lungs. And as an action, you can exhale a gust of wind. If your attunement to the lungs ends, your original lungs reappear. Now, I'm going to just say this. If your attunement to the lungs ends, your original lungs reappear. But where? Where do they reappear? Like, all right, good. Your attunement ends, your lungs reappear, but they reappear in your hometown. They reappear where you were born. Sorry, you're dead. Yeah, they reappear 5 feet in front of you. They reappear in a square 5 feet adjacent to you. Like, okay, good. Your lungs appear. Blap, big flat wet noise as your lungs fall on the floor in front of you. You die. Let's see. That's clearly not the intent, but wand sheath. A wand sheath clamps onto your arm. Okay, good. The wand sheath is for your arm. It's a sheath for wands. You don't put it. Never mind. It can't be removed while you're attuned to it. You can insert a wand into the sheath as an action. You can extract or extend a wand as a bonus action. It's like a revolver for wands. Yeah. The sheath can only hold one wand. You can retract it. While it's extended, you can use it, but your hand remains free. Yeah, it's and it's for Warforged, right? Because it's you build it into your arm. It's the same as the blade we were talking about, right? Okay, cool. What's a wheel of wind and water? When mounted at the helm of a galleon or airship. Ah, right. Possess the mark of storm to telepathically control the vessel. Yeah, okay. Got it. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Arm blade. Magic weapon attached to your arm, becoming inseparable from you as long as you're attuned to it. It's a bonus action. You pop the sword out, stab people. So there you go. There's the arm blade right there. Okay. Belashara's Beholder Crown. A symbiotic crown of eye stalks. So put on your head, and then you can expend charges to shoot Beholder eye beams. Okay. All right. A cleansing stone. Allows you to activate and remove dirt and grime from your garments. Embedded in pedestals in public squares in Ondair or high-end Galanda inns. Oh my god, that's so cool. A public magic item you don't have to like connect to. You just walk over, put your hands on it, and wham, you're clean now. Public showers. That's awesome. That's really cool. A docent, metal sphere 2 inches across, studded with dragon shards. It is a sentient item. Oh, this is the like robot butler thing. Whenever you end your turn with 0 hit points, it can make a medicine check at +6. If it succeeds, it stabilizes you. It speaks languages. It has skills. It knows a spell. I'm gonna definitely give the party one of these. Somebody in the group needs one of these. It's like a it's like your AI companion, right? Yeah, that's cute. What else we got? Arcane propulsion arm. Oh, this is the same. Yeah, we saw this before. This was the you shoot your fist at them. Dern's tentacle whip. Yeah, Destiny Ghost, exactly. Okay, gross. A whip-like strand of tough muscle with a stinger on one end. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it. Attacks against aberrations of disadvantage. Any creature hit with it takes an extra d6 psychic damage. If you roll a 20, the target is stunned till the end of its next turn. As a bonus action, you can sheath the whip by withdrawing it into your arm. But it's gonna go somewhere, so you'd have like one like big arm, and then when you whip it out, your arm would get all floppy. Like your skin would be all like dangly from your arm because the empty skin, there'd be no muscle there. It would be like the tendril arm would be wrapped around your bone and your own muscles, and then you like barf it out. Ugh, gross. Cool, but gross. Yes, and yeah, docent is you got to put it in your eyeball, right? You got to be a warforged with it, sock it into your eye. Yeah, it's not like a human. Though honestly, this is sort of bullshit, and you could totally have like a floating docent that could like talk to you and help you out. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like an Ion Zone version. Yeah, you can make it like more difficult to find or whatever. Okay. Earworm, another symbiont graft. Yep. Lets you detect thoughts, dissonant whispers. Feather token. When you fall at least 20 feet, you descend 60 feet around. There's a lot of concern in this adventure about falling because, or in this module about falling, because Sharn is a city where that happens a lot. Sharn is very tall. So yeah, you don't want to plunge to your doom. So let's take a quick look here. Is Sharn Bespin? It kind of is. Yeah. Finder's goggles. Identify auras. You have to have the mark of finding to use them. A lot of very specific magic items. Glamour weave. Bonus action to create a illusionary pattern in the cloth. All right. See, this is the thing, like Glamour weave, this is the kind of like magic item that I feel like you could make an infinite number of these items, right? Anything that would be cool to have with magic. These are more setting objects, right? Like what would people use magic for if they could make magic items themselves, right? So Glamour Weave gives you basically a guidance for performance or persuasion checks. Yeah, pretty cool. Imbued wood focus. Oh, I like this. When you cast a damage dealing spell, you get +1 to 1 damage roll of the spell, provided the damage is of the type. This is just Harry Potter wands, right? So if you're like, my wand is made of Lemanian oak, lightning bolt, you get to deal an extra 1 point of damage, I guess. But that's kind of neat. Nice way to get a little, like, some little additional bonuses, little benefits. Yeah, people love wands. Yeah, 8d6 +1. So strong. All right. Okay. So some new magic items, living items, that kind of stuff. It looks like chapter 4, like building adventures, isn't in the Roll20 version that I have yet, but will be. So I'll use my reference document to dig into that when we do our prep. And then let's take a look at the monsters while we are here. Let's look for new monsters. Because I'm curious about that business. Get out of the way. Here we go. Hang on. Oh no, these are all just my handouts. Okay. All right. So the monsters, it gives you some general ideas of type of monster, right? And then some stat stuff about things like the Dalekeer. I love this lady. Look at her eyeballs. Halo of eyeballs. Am I doing an Eberron game? Yes. Yeah, we are. I mentioned it a little earlier. Three-hour episodes in the Jay Speller and Must Die slot with most of that cast. Anyway, she's cool. So these are the 6 Dalekeer. This is all setting stuff. Character ties to them. Most of the aberrations on Eberron are creations of the Dalekeer. Masters of flesh shaping. And so there's... I see. So you could be like, my character escaped the flesh markets of whatever. And this is how this is what happened to me as I escaped the Dalekeer. Let's see if there's a spawn of the Dalekeer table I can roll on. Yeah, like a Zemitzi. Exactly. Sharn. The falling table. Here. Let's see. Do we have a... The problem with the way these macros are laid out is that I don't often know where to look to find them because there's often so many and the way they're named is a little tricky. Is there a search tool? Can I search the macros? There probably isn't, is there? No, there is not. Okay. Well, Sharn adventure hooks, NPCs, short-term madness. They're under M for monster. Okay. Right, Dalekeer modifications. Here we go. All right. I fell 3d6 times 10 feet and then hit a bridge. A major bridge in an upper or middle ward will have a feather fall enchantment. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard landing. Okay, cool. I fall. $120 feet. And then I take, what, 12d6 damage? Ow, shit. I took 35 damage. A creature's hair is replaced by spines or tentacles. So yeah, you could theoretically be someone who was twisted by the Dalekeer, and as a result, people look down on them or, whatever. And then this is how you can figure out how they've mutated. Or you could use the... That book, The Mutant. I used it for Swan Song. What was that book called? But it's like a whole book of mutations. I could use that, and that would also be useful for something like this. But again, little table. I want more. More of them. Metamorphica. Thank you. That's the book. Yeah. So if this Dalekeer modifications table doesn't work for you, go get yourself a copy of the Metamorphica and away you go. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Living spells, right? This is a living burning hand spell. I always like these about Eberron. So you start with a basis, living burning hands, living lightning bolt, or living cloud kill, and then make changes based on damage immunity, magical strike, and spell mimicry. Right, to try to create those. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, cool. So we've seen those. Overlords. Whoa. Whoa, look at this Ten of Swords looking axe having. What in the hell? Some kind of sword dragon. Yeah. And then this creepy thing. The children of Kyber rose from the darkness to reign over Eberron. Greatest among them were the overlords. Some 30 overlords are bound in Kyber. The two described here, Rak Tulkesh and Sul Katesh, both remain in prison and can't take physical form. The stat blocks provided reflect the powers they would wield if they were unleashed. Okay. I'm passing familiar with the setting. I ran a 3rd edition game or 3.5 edition game of it very briefly, maybe like 6 sessions. But I read the original like campaign setting. It never really grabbed me, but I was curious. And I think it does some cool stuff, but it's not my favorite campaign setting. So let's look at these monsters. So Belashira. Oh, she's like a named Dalekir. CR 22. Jesus Christ. Okay, so she's CR 22. She, if a creature tries to read her mind or deals psychic damage to it, that creature makes a DC 22 intelligence save or be stunned. Ha! Wow. Okay. Sorry, bards. Stunned creature can repeat the save at the end of their turn. She's an eye thief. She can use her eye ray through any creature within 120 feet. Oh my God, that's so good. So like you and your friend run and hide behind a rock so she can't eye beam you, but she can see your friend and your friend looks at you and then your friend eye beams you by accident. Oh, that's really good. That's cool. Magic resistant, regeneration. I feel like if you expect a D&D monster, if you're building a D&D monster and you expect them to be like a boss monster, you have to give them legendary resistance, magic resistance, and regeneration, plus legendary actions. Otherwise, they just get chewed up, right? I think that like, it's weird that these are just like the set of abilities that just end up given to people. Okay, and then she can teleport as an action, a bonus action up to 30 feet. She's got 3 legendary actions. For 1, she can make a claw attack. For 2, she can implant fear, DC 22, 22 damage, and immediately use a reaction to move away from her. Or each creature within 10 feet makes a DC 22 con save or take force damage and gain a level of exhaustion. Yeah, right? Like, this is the thing. And I think, so Trista pointed out a good point that I agree with, but I'll tell you why they don't do this. So they should just call it boss mode and note that all that shit is included, right? A boss template to put onto a monster. But unfortunately, anything that they do that feels even remotely video gamey, there will be a subset of their fans that cry and shriek and yank out their hair and tear off their clothes because it's too much like a video game. Like, it's absolutely a branding thing to choose not to engage with the language of video games because some of their fans are assholes. It's like, that's legitimately a thing. Like, it's a marketing choice in part to avoid some of what 4E did, even if 4E did a lot of smart things. Yeah. Things like boss templates, things like enrage timers, phased boss battles. Yeah. A lot of that stuff had to just get cut and thrown out because people played 4E and were like, it's too much like a video game. And if they put that in 5E, there will be people who are like, nah, look, they're going right back to 4E. This game sucks again. It's so, I hate it. I hate it. But yeah, I think that it'd be really cool to have a stat block that's like, bloop, here you go. This is how you make a boss into a boss monster. Boss goblin, boss dragon, doesn't matter, right? Yeah. So anyhow, she also gets to make 2 attacks and use an eye ray, claw beam, 3d6 plus 7 slashing damage, shoots one of the following magical eye rays. She's Grandma Beholder, right? Psyche reconstruction ray. Oh, if she kills you, it turns you into a spectator. Good. Okay. Perfect. Domination ray. You become charmed. She issues you commands. Mind weakening ray. You cannot cast spells for a minute? What? Oh boy, that would be so frustrating. Like, use it on a sorcerer or a bard. It's an intelligence saving throw. Cool, you take 8d8 psychic damage and now you cannot use your magic items. Jesus Christ, can you imagine getting hit like if you're an artificer? But I mean, she's supposed to be a boss monster, right? So that's a way she does it. Blinding. And that's cool that she can see through your eyes until the blindness ends. I like that. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, but CR22, it's pretty good. She's worth a lot. Okay, so that's Belishara. Let's see what else we got monster-wise. Ooh, Corin Del Marco, who just looks like a spy. He's a halfling. Look, it's the spy. He's a halfling spy. I don't care about that. Dern, a member of the Dale Kier. Or the Dern. So this is another big one. 24. So this guy's even bigger than Belashara or whatever her name is. So some of the same stuff, right? Alien Mind, Legendary Resistance. This is the boss monster. Spawn Aberration. For oh my god, every turn, he just regurgitates an intellect devourer. This is obviously a typo. 30 legendary actions. Like, clearly. Yeah, no, it's not. He actually gets 30. They get 30 every turn. Spawn. Okay, so they can spawn an intellect devourer. Or, for 3, mind blast everybody in a 60-foot cone, causing psychic damage and stunning them. And then tentacle whip and corruption. Corruption twists your flesh, reduces your speed by half. If you have to make intelligence saves to, wow, that corruption really messes you up. Tentacle whip and then extract brain. Yeah. Yeah, what does this guy look like? That? It's like a vampire man, I guess. Dern. So usually there's like specific information about. No. Yeah, here we go. Ooh, he's got a lair action within the Palace of Sinew. Gross. Yeah, so this is that guy specifically, and he has lair actions that sprout tentacles from the ground, and he can deal psychic damage to everyone he can see. Yeah, let's see if he's got his own special art handout. Creatures and monsters. No, named creatures. Glashra's here. Yeah, I don't see him in this list. Yeah, I don't see him in that list. Okay. Anyhow, where were we? Yeah, usually when they have art, you'll see it listed in their bio. It'll be like right up here. So these are all named characters from adventures and stuff, right? Gara, Joss, Lady Ilmera. See, yeah, like that. Damn, girl. She's scary. Lady Ilmero, an ancient lich in a castle of bone and ice in the Lazar Principalities. Cool. Paralyzing claw. She got wings. Poison breath. Cool. Lord of Blades, aka everybody's favorite extra Robo Man. So many swords. So many swords. Yeah, 8's dad. Padre. Okay, so let's see. He's CR 18. Anyone that grapples or is grappled by him takes 3d8 slashing damage. If he moves 10 feet and then hits with an adamantine 6 blade and can deal an extra 2d10 and knock you prone. He is also a spellcaster. 20th level spellcaster. He's like he's a huge artificer. So he can cast all these artificer spells. He has all the Warforged stuff. He's got legendary actions. Which basically move his speed without provoking and then attack. Cast a spell as a bonus action. That's 1 action to cast. Okay. Or cast a cantrip for 1 action. And then 3 attacks, 2 with his adamantine 6 blade, and 1 with his bladed wings. And he deals 3d10 plus 5 slashing damage, plus 2d6 force damage. Kind of a one-trick pony. He just charges at you and chops you up with his wing swords. Can he fly? No, he's just fast. There you go. All right. I mean, I guess if he had haste on him, that'd be good. Yeah, he's got some spells. He can cast fly on himself. He's a giant slap chop. He totally is. Yep. All right. Let's see what else we got. Mordekash. Ooh, look at this guy voguing. So Mordekash is a unique Rakshasa that can throw chromatic orbs at you. Ah, here you go. Gains resistance to 1 damage type of his choice until the start of his next turn. That's a Final Fantasy boss battle for sure. All right. Raktulkesh. Ah, here we go. Sword Dragon. So Raktulkesh is a CR 28. His hands were backwards. They were. Yep. Look. Watch. Mordekash. See? His thumb's on the underside. He's just got his hand turned over. Anyway, Raktulkesh is 23 natural armor, 25 versus ranged attacks, 80 fly speed, challenge rating 28. He's worth 120,000 experience. Crits on, Jesus Christ, crits on a 19 or 20 and rolls damage 3 times. So does triple crits. Innate charisma spellcaster who can banishing smite, blinding smite, staggering smite, detect thoughts, dispel magic, and spirit guardians. Okay. Yeah, big boy crits for sure. Magic resistance, whirlwind of weapons. A magical aura of weapons surrounds Raktulkesh in a 10-foot radius. At the start of each turn, any other creature in the aura takes 46 force damage. Right? Okay. So if you just want to get up to him, you got to pay the price. Let's see. He has 1 weapon attack. He can cast Dispel Magic as a legendary action. Oh, that's cool. He can provoke rage. Creature must succeed at a wisdom save or make a melee attack against a random creature within reach. Okay. Or throw their melee weapon at them. This attack is made with advantage and gets a +4 bonus to a damage roll. That's fun. Make them fight themselves. And then when he attacks, he can polymorph into a humanoid beast or giant with a challenge rating no higher than his own. In his new form, he retains alignment, hit points, hit dice, proficiencies, legendary resistance, as well as those actions. Otherwise becomes the thing. Okay, so he can change shape. And then spawn ranged weapon or spawned melee weapon, and he makes 4 weapon attacks of any kind. All right. Cool. Big scary boy. And then Sulkatesh, which is this creepy person. They are the keeper of secrets and queen of shadows. So she's like challenge level 28, challenge rating 28, spellcaster, basically. So these things pretty much are like Mara level, right? God level, like a sufficiently powerful entity in Court of Swords could kill. There isn't anything that's unkillable in Court of Swords. I don't have anything that I'm not willing to stat out. There's no planeswalkers, right? There's no it's Tyr, god of justice. You can't kill him. So these kinds of things, they're pretty significant. So these give me an idea of what kinds of if they wanted to go fight the Great Green Worm, what kind of stats might be valid for such a creature. So what do we got? Maddening secrets, consume magic, right? So if you're concentrating, she can eat your spells. You make a DC 26 Constitution saving throw, or she eats your magic. That's cool. Sulkatesh whispers an arcane secret, wisdom DC, or expend a spell slot and deal force damage to everyone within 30 feet. Oh, that's cool. So she's just Oh, you've got disintegrate in your mind, huh? Boop. And then disintegrate just blows out of your mind and hits everybody around you for force damage. That's really cool. That's a cool ability. She gets 4 arcane blasts a turn. 1d10 plus 10 up to 120 feet. Arcane Cataclysm. Orbs of magic energy plummet to the ground at 3 different points. Each creature within 40 feet must make a dex save, taking 11d12 force damage. A creature in an area of more than 1 is affected only once. The area of the burst counts as an anti-magic field for an hour. Sul Katesh and her spells are unaffected by these fields. Holy shit. That is very cool. And the range on it is like a mile. Boop, boop, boop. Now you can't cast spells within those areas. Yeah. And she can do that once per long rest. Change shape. She can do the same thing as her other friend. Cool. All right. So what other monsters, what are new? Ah! Okay, cool. Halfling riding dragons. It's a fast death. Guess what they do? They go fast. Clawfoot. I think this is the raptor. Yeah, look at that good boy. Ah, look at him. Yes. Ooh, I love him. That's cool. Now, how different is a clawfoot from a velociraptor? I swear to God, if this is the same stat block, I'm just gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be annoyed. Okay, it's not. Good. Clawfoots are big. Velociraptors are small. I was gonna say, don't refeed me the same monster stuff. Yeah, so clawfoots are way better. Yeah, is there a Utah raptor in this? Or a Deinonychus? Ah, it is. Okay. We got a second chance. No. It's in between. It's in between the two, it looks. Yeah. Cool. All right. Nice. Okay, so we got clawfoots. We got a couple of new dinos. I've seen Displacer Beasts before. We've seen Dolgonts before. What else we got? Dusk Hag. Pretty sure that's something we've seen in another. Maybe we haven't, actually. She looks cool. Yeah. Dusk Hag is a new one. So, awesome. Awesome. What do they do? What's their deal? Show me the information about Dusk Hags. Here, I guess that's it. Gnarled crones with shriveled orange hair, orange skin, tangled gray hair, and eyes that burn like coals. They see the future, and their dark magic allows them to influence the dreams of others. Nice. So the Dusk Hag prophecies table. Let's see if I can figure this out. M for monster. Dusk Hag prophecies. I think I saw that movie. It's got Richard Gere in it, I think. Let's see. Dusk Hag. So let's see. Prophecies. Roll. Look for 2 crossed swords. There your goal lies. Yeah, the hag shows up and warns you about a bridge collapsing or something. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, weird old lady. Like it. What else we got here? Ghosts, expeditious messengers. Here we go. The Inspired. Hot shirtless dude with knives, and then his crab friend that lives inside his mind. Distant rulers of Sarlona are known as the Inspired, noble families bound by celestial spirits. Truly, they are the mortal hosts of the nightmare spirits of Dalquor, and they carry out the foul agenda of the Dreaming Dark. Dun dun dun. So, Hashalak inspired, Kalarak inspired, and Tsukora inspired are the different kinds. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Based on what's possessing them. Exactly, yeah. We got Karnathi Undead Soldiers. Oh, I love this. If this is the art, yeah. I love this art. This is reused. I've seen this art before, I'm pretty sure. But it's pretty much just a skeleton by H.R. Giger, right? That's a Giger skeleton, but it's very cool. Pack tactics. Oh, that's awesome. So it's like a souped up skeleton. It's got pack tactics, undead fortitude, and parry. Oh, I like this. This is nice. And this is the kind of thing I'm always looking for. I want monsters that are that level, like CR 3 through 10 at most, right? 3 through 7, and that have, yeah, like this would be cool for Macaria, right? It's a hybrid skeleton zombie. Yeah. Because it can actually fight. It's a bit of a white also. Yeah, it fights, but it has the zombie dying thing, and it has pack tactics, which is great. So they all fight together. I think that'd be really cool. Yeah, I like those. Okay. And then we have some living spells, right? Burning Hands, Cloud Kill, Lightning Bolt. Right? Spell Mimicry. They do the spell and it's on a recharge. Yeah, used for the King of Black Rivers. Exactly. Yep. Definitely going to steal this. And then these are the Kuorai that possess the Inspired, right? So we have the three different kinds of like nightmare dreaming dark creatures. The Hashalak, the Kalarak, awesome. That's fucking cool. The Kalashtar and Dalkor and all that stuff, that's my favorite part of Eberron. And then the Tsukora. Oh yeah. Yes, I've seen this art before. Spooky. Yeah, right. Very paw wraith, the fire ones. Yep. I like all of them. They're all cool looking. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then we also have, let's see, we got Revenants. We had those before. Radiant Idols are new. More hot bad guys. Look at the pecs on that guy. Once an angel, banished from the celestial realm of Sirania and cast into the material plane. One sin led to their fall, the desire to be worshipped by mortals. Oh, they're like cult fallen angels that accumulate cults. Yeah, sick. Aura of false divinity. You know I'm into this shit. Cool. Yeah. Fake gods. I like it. And then we got Rakshasa of a particular type. This is a martial variant Rakshasa. Okay. And then let's see what else we got. We got Undying Counselor. Where are these guys? The light of Irian sustains the spirit, but doesn't preserve the physical body. Desiccated corpses, flesh withering away over time. I see. Undying Counselors guide and protect the people of Arenal. Positive energy, elf liches. Yeah, good guy undead. Yeah, Radiant Touch, Healing Touch, Flame Strike. Yep. Neat. A little Shimmering Aura, legendary action. Yeah, lots of boss type monsters in this, hey? Undying Soldiers. Right, cool. More fighting undead. What do we got? CR2. Okay. And these guys glow. Magically sheds bright light. That's fun. Okay. A Valinar Hawk, a Valinar Hound, and a Valinar Steed. And these are, what, like magic elvish animals? Yeah. Mage bred animals. Oh, yeah. Look at that good glowing dog. I think I paid $9.99 once to buy this horse. You get this horse for free if you go to BlizzCon. Cool. And then giant robo gargantuan warforged. He's 25 CR. Legendary resistance. What did I tell you, right? Legendary resistance, magic resistance, all boss monster stuff. Double damage to objects and structures. Any enemy outside the Colossus that starts its turn within 30 feet must succeed at a DC 26 wisdom save or be frightened until the start of the enemy's next turn. If the enemy's saving throw is successful, it is immune for 24 hours. Okay. It's huge and terrifying. It makes 3 attacks, 1 with a slam, 2 with its turrets, then uses stomp. 3d12 plus 10 bludgeoning damage, push the target up to 20 feet away, reach of 20 feet. Eldritch turret, 300-foot range, 48 force damage, plus 18 to hit. If the target is a creature, it is knocked prone. It's 4 attacks, 1 slam, 2 turrets, then a stomp. Stomps its feet, any point within 20 feet of it, any creature within a 20-foot high radius, 20-foot cylinder, DC 26 dexterity save, or take bludgeoning damage and fall prone until it uses its stomp again or moves its restrained. So it literally stomps on you and then grinds you into the ground, right? Yeah, Liberty Prime. Yeah, so you get stomped on. And then it also has, if it wants to bypass all of that stuff, it could just use Incinerating Beam, 150-foot line, 10 feet wide. Each creature in the line, DC 26 dex save, or take 11d10 radiant damage. Creature reduced to 0 is disintegrated, leaving behind anything it was wearing or carrying. Fantastic. Zoop, 74 damage. Laser Death Ray. I like it. And it's also gargantuan, which is very big. It's this. It's this big. It's 5 by 5, I think, or 4 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. Yep. I might have also accidentally resized it. Right. Because I was fucking with it earlier. I never remember which is which. Yeah, I must have resized it one more. But yeah, 4x4, still pretty damn big. So what other, we have a few more. We have a Warforged Titan, which is a smaller version, right? CR8. It has 2 platforms built in. 1 medium or small creature can ride on each platform without squeezing. To make a melee attack, to make a melee attack, they must use spears or weapons with reach, and the target must be large or larger. Okay, so they can ride around on the Warforged Titan. Good. And it on its own makes an axe hand and a hammer fist attack. Slashing. Oh, it deals extra damage against prone targets. Hammer fist knocks you prone. Or it can make a sweep attack with its axe hand, and each creature might get hit by it. Cool. Okay. So there's the Warforged Titan. Big stompy robot person. I like it. I dig it. All right. And then a bunch of generic NPCs, including another one I really like the art for. Look at this nerd. This guy looks like he looks like he's from a UK fantasy comic from the like late 80s. He looks like a 2000 AD comic book character. Yeah. Yeah. It's Brian. It's Brian the Bone Knight. Yep. So Bone Knights. CR5, Master of the Pallid Banner. Gives advantage against saves for turning undead. He's like an evil paladin, kind of. Yeah. Commander of Bones and Master of the Pallid Banner. Yeah. Definitely hates He-Man. A lot. Yeah, and then we have like a Changeling NPC, a Kalashtar NPC. Okay. All right. This nerd. I'm just going to leave him over here. And then a bunch of generic kind of like human stand-ins. And these are great. You want these because I find that the game doesn't have enough like generic humans kind of around, but I'm not sure like stats for mage rights, like they're CR0. Like, do we need stats for this kind of character? I don't. They make for good hirelings. That's a great point. Yep. And then a Tarkanan assassin. She get you with her swords. And a Warforged soldier. I really like this Warforged. I think this is a good one. You get that blade hand. Yeah, very regal. Yeah. And then just a bunch of stuff from other sources that are added in as a result of being in that adventure. Yeah, so it's tough, right? I wanna just talk like kind of a little bit about like final thoughts about this Eberron thing. Could you get by if you already own the Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron? Probably. If you already know a lot about Eberron, you probably could. And if you don't mind that it's technically the rules are out of date. So I wonder if they're going to update the PDF of that to include the new stuff, you know? Like, what does that licensing look? Okay, so Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron will be updated so that it brings it in line with the canon of the... What a weird thing. Okay. If you don't know anything about Eberron, there are several full chapters about the world of Eberron and how it works, which is cool. That's good. That's useful. But if you don't need that, if you're already familiar with Eberron, I guess you get an adventure. You get all that class stuff. With the Roll20 version, like I would want it so that it incorporates into my other games, because that's the real reason I read setting material, right? I probably won't make a full-fledged campaign set in Eberron, right? We're doing our little 3-part miniseries, but what I can do is steal monsters, spells, classes, races, right? Mechanisms. Yeah, this is the clear and obvious choice. If you don't own any Eberron stuff, this is the starting point, right? Do not buy the Wayfinder's Guide, buy this. If you're doing exclusively Roll20 games, obviously, this will additionally be another value for buying it, right? Like for me, Wayfinder's Guide is a lot less valuable than the Roll20 version of this module because all of that stuff is built in already. But for you, it'll really depend. Yeah. Once this book is out, once this game, this mod for D&D comes out, I wonder if there's any reason at all to buy the Wayfinder's Guide. And I can't help but wonder what that means for like the people that made that book. Like, yeah, but that's a whole other discussion about how the DM's Guild works and how licensing works in role-playing games. But for me, we're going to see the practical application of this stuff when we do GM prep for that 3-part Eberron game. So that's going to happen sometime this week or early next week. I'm going to have to do prep for the session, and I'm going to need to build characters for my players. So we'll do the character mancer, we'll do all that. So if you want to see basically this stream, but a practical application of all of the material in it, you can tune back in. I will schedule that, I think, probably Tuesday morning of next week. And if you're watching this on YouTube, there might already be available a video to go and watch. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, it's, it's like it's useful, but I don't know if it's as, it didn't come as far as Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. It didn't do as much as Ravnica did to really like hook me into the setting and give me mechanical stuff to engage with. But it is interesting, and it is evidence that Wizards of the Coast is willing to bring back or change, bring back and update existing IP. So I guess if you really like Eberron, this is a great choice. If you've never heard of Eberron, also a great choice. And if you're just like, when are they going to bring back Mystara? Or like, when are we going to get material about Dark Sun? maybe this will continue to keep hope alive for you. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I want to do right now. I'm not going to read all of the setting material, probably ever, but when we come back, I will definitely use the tables and macros from the patrons to generate an adventure, and we'll put together a film noir, pulp action, punching bad guys, swinging across chandeliers, probably based in Sharn adventure that will let us explore Eberron for 3 weeks. Every Wednesday starting next week. So come on back for that. Thank you for coming and for watching this. I hope that it's giving you a little bit of a peek into Eberron and helped you decide if you're interested in this setting yourself. So yeah, that's it. This has been the first look at the Roll20 Marketplace version, the beta Roll20 Marketplace version of Eberron. Thank you for coming and checking it out. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.